Hi all, Mark O'Hare here from Sporting Bet. This is We Love Betting and we're talking Football League because despite the international break there is still Football League and there's action from League 1 and League 2, and I've picked out 3 best bets from the coupon again this week. Not so good last week, just 1 win, 1 draw and 1 defeat, but hopefully we've got 3 more good winning tips for you this week. So we'll start in League 1, shall we? Just a word on Tranmere, because we eulogised about Ronnie Moore recently and the run that Tranmere are on. Of course, still top of the table, still pulling out results and impressing at home as well. And they do look a good odds-on shot at home to Yeovil this weekend, but I will be wary of them, and I think you should be too. Jean-Louis Akpro, striker, is out for a couple of weeks, if not months, with a broken bone in his foot. And fellow striker Andy Robinson is also doubtful for this weekend as well. Yeovil have a decent record against Tranmere as well, so bear that in mind when you're backing them. I'm sure they're going to be in everyone's accumulators, but just be wary at the same time. So instead I'm going to go for the team who are second in the table, just behind them, and look at Stevenage, who are at Colchester this weekend. And again, just like we did with Ronnie Moore, it's worth having a huge well, whatever. Just the job that Gary Smith has done at Stevenage is absolutely fantastic and deserves plenty of plaudits coming his way. They're at Colchester, of course, and Smith has pretty much taken on the mantle of what Graham Westley built at Stevenage. A very hard to beat team, very well organised. Okay, they do sometimes go a little bit too long ball for my liking, but they still play good football at times too. But it's just a remarkable job when you consider what he lost in the summer anyway from his team from last year. We'll just go through some of their names. I've got here Laurie Wilson, Michael Boswick, John Musinho, Joel Byram, Scott Laird and Chris Beardsley. So fantastic job there, and it's worth pointing out as well that their striker Robin Schrutt is apparently on the hit list of Celtic as well, so excellent progress being made there. As for Colchester, well, they axed John Ward at the end of September, after a pretty dismal spell in charge, it has to be said. He's been replaced by Joe Dunn. He won his first 2 games against Swindon and Hartlepool, very well done, but they were beaten last time out against Yeovil. It's worth mentioning that Stevenage come into this game 11 games unbeaten. All their League 1 matches they've stayed unbeaten. They conceded just 10 goals in those 11 games, and they've scored in every game, or every away game. They've also won 4 of their 5 road trips and leaked only 4 goals in their 6 games on their travels. Sporting Bet 13-8 each of 2 here, and yes, there's a bit of value there in Stevenage, but I am wary of Colchester and their new management system, basically because they've got a very high nature for draws, especially at home. So there's something I'm going to look at here is a half-time draw between Colchester and Stevenage, which is even money at Sporting Bet. I'll just pull my notes down so I can see the statistics that surround it here. Colchester have been level in 3 of their 5 home league games this season. They're also level in 6 of their last 8 home league games last season, so that's 9 of their last 13 put together at home. And home and away this season, the half-time draw has banked in 7 of Colchester's 11 games. Last time Stevenage drew 19 games, of course, including 4 of the last 6 away from home. They've drawn 5 of their 11 games this season already. Okay, only 2 of those 5 were away from home. Colchester's never an easy game to go to, or never easy ground to go to, so I think the half-time draw at even money is especially a decent shout this week. I think it's a very underrated market too, so that's where my money will be going on. So let's dip down into League 2 again. I'll just draw up my notes, and yeah, I can't make no apology for my 2 tips in League 2, but I'll start off anyway. Gillingham, they're top of the table, and they do look the real deal under Martin Allen too. They're at home to second from bottom, Aldershot. The Gillingham have actually won 8 of their 11 League 2 games already this season, and it should really have read 9 from 11 too, because if it wasn't for goalkeeper Ryan Clark for Oxford last weekend, it would read 9 from 11, because he was absolutely outstanding. If you saw the Football League show, saw any of the highlights from that game, you would have seen he was absolutely fantastic in goal. Martin Allen, who doesn't normally give out praise easily, compared him to Gordon Banks. He was that good. So yeah, I mean, game ended 0-0, but Gillingham were far dominant. Aldershot come into this game away at Gillingham on the back of 4 straight defeats. I think Dean Holdsworth must be scratching his head as well, because he had the opportunity to talk to Crawley and turned it down in favour of continuing his project with the shots. His team have been completely devoid of any sort of confidence and belief. I know Holdsworth and his assistant manager have bemoaned that recently as well, and they were beaten midweek in the Johnston Paint Trophy at Plymouth too, and Plymouth have a very poor record at Home Park in the last couple of years too, so 3 to 5 on Gillingham is a bit too short to be tipping, isn't it? So we're not going to go there. We're going to go for Gillingham in a double result, which is a juicy odds on of 23 to 20 with Sporting Bet. Why? Well, Gillingham are top of the half-time table, as they are in the full-time table as well. They've won 6 of their 11 games at half-time, or leading at half-time in 6 of their 11 games. 3 of 5 of those were at home too. Aldershot, surprisingly for me, have yet to be behind at half-time at all this season, but all runs do come to an end, and when you consider Gillingham have won 3 and drawn 2 of their last 5 head-to-head, you've got to basically put your money where the stats are for me, and where the games are going at the moment, because Aldershot, very poor, Gillingham on the up and going very, very well. So 23 to 20 on Gillingham double result, and we'll finish with a team who are just one step below them in the League Two table, Port Vale, who are at home to Oxford. Again, I think they're the team to watch for me anyway in League Two, because they're scoring the most goals, 25 of them in the league already. That's the top scorers in the division. And they've also got Tom Pope as well, who scored 11 goals in 11 appearances for the Valiants. That's actually his best ever league return in the in his career, and we're only in October as well, so huge credit to him. And they really impressed at Exeter last week. I was very impressed with them, especially the finishing from Pope. They came away with a 2-0 victory, the second behind Gillingham, and you've got to fancy them. Okay, their odds on, they're 9 to 10, but against the team, against Oxford, who we've just been talking about, who played at home to Gillingham, just remind ourselves that they were completely outplayed, and if it wasn't for goalkeeper Ryan Clark, they would have lost, and should have probably lost handsomely against Gillingham. They're at home then, they're away here, and they can't stop losing. Okay, they stopped the losing run against Wimbledon, and they did hold Gillingham, but before that they've played 5, won 1, lost 4 away from home. And that win came on the opening day against Outer Source Bristol Rovers. They've been struggling they've not been struggling for goals, but the likes of James Constable, who's been so formidable up top for them recently, he's scored his first goal in 8 months in midweek in the JP Trophy. Okay, they beat Cheltenham, but I know I mentioned it in the last tip, but you've got to read so much into the JP Trophy. I don't believe it's a great competition or market. Oxford have got quite a big injury list at the moment too. So when you gather all the information together and you see the way Port Vale are scoring goals, Oxford are conceding too many goals, they're struggling really on the road. Port Vale flying high, 9 to 10, shade under even money. You've got to be banking on Port Vale to hopefully bring you some bacon. So Port Vale at 9 to 10 to beat Oxford. Gillingham double result at 23 to 20. Who are they playing? Why can I not remember who Gillingham are playing? Aldershot, of course. And last but not least, Colchester against Stevenage to be a half-time draw at even money with Sporting Bet. They're my 3 best bets. Good luck.